comments, but I thought this would be easier to actually talk about hair if I have a vertical video. Last time I was in my office with my webcam, so I still don't have a good angle to see it all. I don't know, I think it's starting to get below knee, so I need you guys to tell me. Oh my goodness. My husband was laughing the other day about me brushing my butt. Alright, so what do we think? Is it below knee? Might be starting to hit calf there. Can I see the comments from here? Do I need to put it on? All messages are visible. That's what I want. Yay! Krish is here! You're the one that I started this for, so excellent. Do you have any questions? Can I not just have the chat on? Might have to do this from my desktop next time again. I just dyed my hair last night again, and so it looks all bumpy and weird here. I'm so bad at that. But that should fade over the next day or two. It just looks so weird right now. I am very well, thank you, and so is my hair. My hair is doing a lot better since the last hair dye I tried to use was horrendous. And I had a video about that one because I want to warn people, don't use that hair dye. But this one I just used, the Clariol Nice and Easy Root Touch-Up, was really, really good. It was creamy, had good coverage, rinsed out well. So other than the fact that I'm terrible at not getting it on my skin and on my hairline, it was really good. So my hair is feeling much better now, not sticky anymore, and so I'm quite happy. And I need to get a new measurement. Last time I measured it was 50 inches, but I think it has gotten a little bit longer, especially some of these little bits. You don't want to ask anything? Okay, that's fine. What should I do? Should I try a hairstyle? I don't know. I was gonna try doing another version of the Margot bun because the one that I did before was kind of floppy. But I don't know. Is it different seeing it live? Yeah. Usually it's very like just, okay, here it is, I'm doing the thing, not like, well, that's fun. Not playing with it. Yeah, I really enjoy my hair, and I don't know, I've always been obsessed with long hair. I just always really loved it. And I was saying last time that it's nice having your own hair long because you're in control of it. Like, when somebody else has beautiful long hair, you're sort of like, oh, please don't cut it, please don't cut it, please don't cut it. But you have no control over it if they feel like cutting it. So it's nice to do it for yourself, and it feels nice. It feels nice on the backs of my legs. Like when I get out of the shower and I feel it brushing against my legs, I love that. This is my dream length. I wanted knee for a very long time. I mean, when I was really little, my idol was Crystal Gale, who is a singer whose hair brushes the floor. And I might get there one day, but really knee length has been the thing that I was like, when it's knee length, I will feel like my hair is long. I will be satisfied. I will be content. And I am. Thank you. Yeah, so I am. I'm very content with it at knee, but I'm also curious to see how long it will go. I was a little bit afraid that I would always be like, oh, it doesn't feel long enough, because as a long hair fanatic, if it gets to like BSL length, it doesn't feel long. It gets to waist length, it sort of feels medium. Most people are like, that's long, and I'm like, yeah, it looks so short. So I was worried that I was always going to have that sort of, what do they call it? It's not really a dysphoria, but something like that. But it's not true. I got to knee and I feel like my hair is long. I love my hair. I feel content and happy with it. So it's good. And then it's just like there's no pressure to go longer. It's like, yeah, I'm going to see how long it goes. It's fun. I don't feel like anxiety about I want it to be longer. I want it to be longer. Like I've got it. It's as long as I want it to be. And now I just get to keep growing it for fun and see if it will get to ankle and floor. Who knows? I think a lot of people they talk about like, oh, certain hair types can't grow really long. I don't know. I'm not sure if that's true or not. Yeah. I don't know. I don't trust many people with my hair. I wouldn't trust my husband to brush my hair. Only me. I haven't been to a hairstylist in years. Well, except for I had a professional photo shoot for my other business, and I warned the hair and makeup person. I was like, look, my hair is super long. I don't know if you're going to know what to do with it. And she was like, oh, don't worry about it. And she did. So she handled it. But, of course, she used hairspray to make the style, which I never do. And it was really hard to get out. So I had tons of pins in my hair and tons of hairspray. And it was like weeks before my hair went back to feeling normal and not like it was full of hairspray. But other than that, no one else has touched my hair in about 15 years. My husband is not a long hair lover. Not that he doesn't like it. He's sort of indifferent to it. He loves that it makes me happy, but he's not, he doesn't have any desire to style it or brush it or anything. He's just loves to see how my face lights up with delight at my own hair. I don't usually trim my ends. Hi. You're taking care of him? That's very good. I told myself that I was going to start trimming when it got to knee just to get the hem more blunt. But I did it one time and then I was like, I really don't care that much. The fairy tale ends make it easier to tuck into updos, and so I might do occasional trims here and there. I was doing the seek and destroy thing to find split ends and snip them out, but I stopped doing that too. I just really have not had much trouble with split ends. It still grows just fine, so I don't know if that's just me or if the common wisdom about split ends is just wrong. Your mileage may vary. I have 2 children. That was my daughter, Priya. Priya Alana is 4, and then my son, Garrick, is 6, and he is upstairs playing Minecraft. My husband is at his Tai Chi class right now. He does Saturday and Sunday mornings at Tai Chi. I don't eat any supplements for my hair. I think I was saying last time I'm actually a super unhealthy eater, so don't take my advice on that one either. Yeah, nothing. I'm not good at nutrition. I have too many stresses in my life to worry about eating healthy, and it's beginning to really show. Like, I've gained 60 pounds since having children, and so I kind of hate how my body looks, but I also don't want to put the time and energy into fixing it. So that's not really about hair, except that I'm not eating healthy for the hair either, unfortunately. Krish is Indian, not fluent in English. Oh, very nice, very nice. I hope that you're able to understand everything all right. I've been practicing Hindi, but I'm really bad at it. Really, really bad at it. I can speak to like 2-year-olds pretty effectively. Let me see. So I just missed one. Do you get tangles easily? I don't really get tangles easily. My daughter does, and it really surprised me. Because my hair, yeah, it gets like some tangles a little bit. And I use this wooden tech hairbrush. I love this thing, and my husband does too. He's always stealing it. And just gently work from the bottom up, and it's fine. But my daughter gets like massive tangles, and her hair's out to here, and it's so fine that I didn't expect it to be that way. But it's a nightmare brushing her hair. My husband washes it, so I told him, you gotta use conditioner on it. But even that, like, it is tough. Every morning before school, I have to brush out her hair, and she plays on Snapchat on my phone to keep her from screaming. Very unfortunate. Um, let's see, I think I missed another comment. After pregnant time. I don't think. Oh, hi, JJJ! Okay, hair celebrity in the house. I don't think that I had any hair loss after pregnancy. It wasn't noticeable anyway. Some people feel like they see chunks coming out or like it's noticeably thinner. I didn't see any of that. Um, I think it may have gotten curly after pregnancy. However, it's too heavy for me to really find out. So I've been watching those videos where girls are like, oh, when you come out of the shower and your hair has this sort of kind of kinky wave looking, that's not the right term, but like sort of a wave to it, like you might actually have curly hair. And if you do some curly hair techniques, you can bring these curls out. And my hair has started to look like that after pregnancy. It didn't before. And I thought, oh, I should try it. But like trying to like do the plopping stuff with this hair, it was like, no. It got all tangled from me trying, and it was like, it would be so heavy that the curls would fall out anyway. So we may never know, but it's possible that there's some curls hiding in there somewhere. Ah, well. I do sometimes use some no heat curlers overnight just for fun. Oh my gosh, Krish, my hair has been gray forever. And this is, so my ethnicity is what's called Black Irish. So when you think of Irish people, you usually think of like red hair and blonde, but there's a subset of Irish people who have my coloring, where it's very light skin. It has freckles. You can't really see the freckles that well here. They're there. And black hair. And it goes gray prematurely. And genetically, this has happened to all of the women in my family. We all look pretty much the same. We all have black hair, and we all gray really young. So I started to go gray when I was about 20 years old. And my 16-year-old brother, who had just gotten taller than me, looked down at the top of my head and said, "Aren't you going to do something about that?" So I did, and I have been dyeing my hair for 20 years. I'm 40 now. For a little while I did henna, but I went back to the grocery store box dye because it was actually right before my wedding. It was the day before my wedding, and my cousin had flown in from California across the country, and I had the like henna red hair, and she was like, it doesn't really suit you, and you're getting married tomorrow, you're gonna have these pictures, this is a really special day, let's get the black back. And I was like, okay, you're right. So I sent my family friend, this guy, I think he was in his 70s at the time, to the grocery store to get black hair dye. And I've been doing it black since then. I do really like how it looks. I hate my gray hair. I know it's a trend these days to be like, oh, let your gray grow out and embrace it. And I'm like, nope, no thank you. My mother just started letting hers go gray at 70, 71 or 72 years old. So now she's gone completely gray. She has like shoulder length hair. It's very soft. It's not the same texture as mine. Mine is more coarse. Nobody else has super long hair. No one else in my family is obsessed with super long hair like I am. This has been a lifelong obsession since I was a little child, like the story of Rapunzel, seeing Crystal Gale on TV. The beauty of it, I can't explain it. I've always loved it, and I'm finally embracing it. For a little while, when I was an insecure 20-something, I always felt like I didn't deserve to have the hair that I wanted or something like that, like weird stuff that people think in their 20s. So finally I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna love my hair and do what I want with it. Like, why not? So I do. And my parents look at me a little funny sometimes, like, oh my goodness, how long are you gonna make it go? But I wear it up all the time, so hardly anybody knows how long it actually is. It's really just for me. I just don't even care if people know how long it is. I just love it. It makes me happy to have. And it's fun to surprise people on my meetings. I go to Zoom meetings like every day for my business, and so sometimes I show people and they go, "What?" Nope, no one has ever tried to touch my hair or come up to me about it. But again, it's very hard to tell how long it is because I'm usually wearing it in like a bun like this. So it might look like, oh, that's a pretty thick bun. There's probably long hair, but it's not like jaw dropping, like people are going to come up and say anything about it. Um, so, no. The few times I've worn my hair down, I don't like to do it in public because then it gets like the wind blows and it rubs on things and it stresses me out. I'm like, no, my perfect hair. Our secret, exactly. Some braid hairstyle. Oh man, you know what? I've gotten so that I don't like doing braided hairstyles because it takes so long to get to the end. Like, I do a lot of rope braid styles now because it's so much faster than English braiding, right? And English braids also will tangle as you're going too. So the one braided style that I do really like to do is the coronet braid around my head. So I guess I can do that one now, and you'll see how long it takes to actually get a braid. I cut my shorts so that you don't have to watch the tedious parts. Whew. And this is also a problem if it's tangled at the bottom and I try to separate it out. Now that it's longer than my fingers can reach, if a tangle is here, I can't like get it out with my thumb. Not that I mind, because I love my hair and I'm never changing it. The little inconveniences of having it super long, I don't care. Wow, with my back turned, I'm probably missing comments, so I'll have to catch up in a minute. So I take it over my shoulder, try to keep it from twisting, and keep going, and going, and going. And you can see it starts to braid itself below, so you have to keep on sort of flicking it out to keep it from tangling. Do these flicks. And then I showed my little braid hack on a short a couple days ago, and it's become the most watched video on my channel, but there's a lot of people like, I don't understand what you're even trying to demonstrate here. So now I've started doing this where I throw it over my shoulder so I can reach the end. But like my sections are never even, right? Like I really suck at dividing up even sections. So I end up borrowing some hair from one section and adding to another so that I can get to the end, and it's really not noticeable. So yeah, there's a lot of long hair in India. This hair is not special over there. I have been to India twice myself. I've been to the south. Excuse me. So ironic that I started tried to learn Hindi, and then I went to the south where nobody spoke Hindi. And I've been to Bangalore and Chennai. And yes, beautiful, beautiful long hair. And I wished that I could post pictures from my trips, but Long Hair Community Forum is very strict about not posting pictures of other people's hair, even from behind where you can't identify them, which I guess is fair. Okay, I finally made it. So now I just throw it around my head. And it makes it all the way and then a bit. So I can't find my Amish pins. I'm gonna have to buy another pack, I think. My kids tend to take my hair stuff too, which is frustrating. So what can I hold it with? Where are my little claw clips too? I don't even know. Well, put a flexi in, even though this looks a little weird for coronet braid. Does that even work? No, it's gonna fall out immediately. But yeah, I like the coronet braid a lot because it shows the front, you know, it shows off my hair nicely and it kind of brings more framing to my face. Let's see, something about hair sticks. Where are the most viewers from? I think right now most are from the US, but there's definitely some watchers in India. And I'll have to look at the stats to see the other places, but those are large ones. Can you show your bun sticks? So mostly I've been using this little one. It's got a little dangly bee on it and I really like. And then I've got This one from Etsy has a rose on the top. I got this years and years and years and years ago, and it's not like you can't hold hair with it, but it could be a nice accent, decorative accent, like in a Gibson twist. I know I have other hair things. Oh, this one's also from Etsy. Now this one was meant to be where you take this chain and you bring it across the bun, and it looked so cool, so I got it, but then of course my bun is too big and the chain got tangled in it. So I had to take that part off and just use it dangling, but still, it's so pretty. But mostly, of course, I use the Lila Rose Flexies. I use these for everything because they function like hair sticks and they're so pretty. I like all the designs. Do you ever have bad tangles in my hair? Oh, Krish, I would love your help getting more viewers. I don't. My hair gets tangled in kind of like a standard, normal way every once in a while, a little bit. I have to brush it carefully after I shower. But I was saying earlier, my daughter gets massive tangles, and her hairstyle is different from mine. Like, her hair type is just a little bit finer than mine, and I like don't know what to do with it. I am feeling so self-conscious about these like bumps of hair dye on my hairline right now. Funny how I feel more self-conscious about that than I do about my dirty fingernails from all the hair dye underneath my nails. Like, I need to get better at doing the edge of my hair. 20 years I've been dyeing my hair and I still can't get that right. I'm gonna have to work on that. What other hair toys do I have? Somebody on Instagram made me this bun cover, which is crocheted. I don't use it very often though. Yeah, I'm realizing that the lives are a really good opportunity to get that watch time. As I said in my community post, I'm not monetized on this channel because even though I have enough subscribers, I don't have very much watch time. And their newest thing is to get monetized from shorts, you need to have 10 million views in 3 months. I was like, what? Who's doing that? Some people apparently. I'm like, I have 50,000 views from the last 3 months and I'm dang proud of that. Like, come on. Do I use hair oils and hair serums? Not much. I did experiment a little bit with hair oils a while back, and I wrote a little ebook about it and the different hair oils and what they're for, but I'm really lazy. Really lazy, especially when it comes to hair care, so I am definitely a benign neglect kind of person. If I'm obsessing over getting everything just right and measuring my hair every day and just wondering like, oh, is it gonna grow? You know, it just feels so much slower. Whereas if I just throw it up and forget about it and do other things, it grows a lot faster, psychologically. No, I definitely don't trim my hair on a regular basis. I've trimmed it once in the last 12 years. So I trimmed it once when it got to knee length because I wanted to get a more blunt hemline, but it has already, the hemline is already not blunt at all anymore, and I just don't care that much to trim it. I haven't had any trouble with the split ends causing any issues. I will say the problem with not trimming regularly, and maybe if I had thought of this I would have been doing it from the beginning, is that it looks much nicer when it's all even. The fact that I never trim means that I've got so many hairs at different lengths. You would think these are split ends. Some of them are. Some of them are not. It's just that hairs at all different lengths because I never trim it and it grows slightly differently. And so on Reddit a while back, I put a picture of my hair in like a split bun, and somebody made some joke about, oh my god, so many split ends. And I was like, they actually aren't split ends, but I'm sorry, it does look terrible. So I kind of wish that I had been trimming from the start just to have it like more even and silky and beautiful, blah blah blah, but that's okay. I still love it, and I would have been too anxious to have it grow. Growth is more important to me, and trimming makes it hard to grow longer because you're cutting off your growth and your progress, which I know goes against the common wisdom, but clearly I haven't had any trouble from not trimming. A friend from the Philippines. Oh yeah. Filipinos sometimes grow really long hair too. Do you anytime comb hair over my face? No, not really. I did like a fake bangs video one day, and I think I'm gonna try like wearing that as an actual style sometime, but it was basically like doing kind of a roll across your face. Yeah, definitely self-trim only, and I would say I really did hit my goal. My goal has been knee, and I'm at knee, and I said to myself, when I get to knee, I'm going to trim regularly so that the hair will catch up and it will smooth out and have an even hem, so I haven't been doing that because I'm curious how long it will go. So, maybe when it gets to ankle or floor, I'll start trimming. I don't know. I got one of those devices that you like clip the hair into and slide it down so that you can cut it, and it seemed like it worked pretty good. So I might trim again soon. It's definitely getting uneven on the ends here. And you guys have to tell me. I think it might be actually longer than me at this point. I need to get my husband to measure it, and we haven't done it in a while because I can't reach with the measuring tape. So I don't know. I think it might be about to hit calf. And I think JJJ has a way of measuring without measuring tape, but I have never figured it out. Or not without measuring tape, but measuring yourself with the measuring tape. I have not figured out how to do that. Oh my gosh, my throat is so dry. It's gotten cold here all of a sudden. I'm on the east coast of the US in Maryland, and we haven't had much cold. We usually do, so it's really weird. Difficult at night for me with my hair. Satin sleep on it. Absolutely satin sleep on it. I recommend it to everybody all the time. Listen to black women, they know hair. Oh, thank you. I'm quite certain that anybody who wants to can have long hair. But yes, at night I try to always remember, I don't always, but I try to always remember to put a satin sleep bonnet on. And at first it was like sliding off, and then I pulled it further down my face, and I discovered that it's really good at blocking out the light. So it's an eye mask and a hair protector in one. So that is what I use to keep my hair nice at night. And as I said earlier, I'm not crazy about braiding it anymore because it takes a long time to braid, so I don't braid it at night. And I don't really like the look of braid waves. I know a lot of people do. And especially now, like, the 80s crimped look is coming in, and I hate it. I hated it in the 80s, and I hate it now. So, for myself, I don't really want braid waves. I do like curls, though. So, every once in a while, I try some heatless curl styles, just on the ends. Because the curlers will not go all the way up, but I'll curl, like, the bottom couple feet. At that time, she had... Yeah, I've been really lucky. My subscriber growth has been lovely, and I really appreciate it. It's pretty cool to have a channel that's over 1,000 subscribers. Just kind of blows me away. Oh my gosh, yeah. I used to think, I don't know, I get very mixed results about, like, people saying my hair is thick or thin, because some people are like, oh, your hair is so thick. I wish I had hair like yours. It's amazing. It's so thick. And then other people are like, oh, you think your hair is thick? It's so thin. Like, the way they say it is definitely like I'm trying to insult you. And I'm like, I mean, thickness is not a moral quality, so I don't know why they say it like it's an insult. But I'm just like, I think it's just medium. I'm pretty sure it's a medium thickness. It's not super thick. It's not super thin. I definitely have friends with thinner hair. I have friends with thicker hair. So, it's just in the middle, and I'm not morally attached to how thick it is. Oh, these kids. I definitely get kids trying to, like, find my weaknesses and exploit them, and I guess for humor. But, doesn't work very well because I've been a writer my whole life, so I have pretty darn thick skin, and I don't get defensive about things. What can we do to get thicker hair? Treat it carefully, have a satin sleep cap or a satin pillowcase, something where it's not rubbing. Wear it up in gentle ways. Stop using hair elastics. Yeah, I haven't used hair elastics in ages because that causes breakage. And brush it carefully, detangle from the bottom gently. Just do what you can to prevent breakage and just treat it gently and it will get thicker. And mine's gonna get thicker as, you know, I've got some short bits up here that are growing out again. It's very hard to demonstrate. This is part of the problem with having black hair too, is like trying to show off styles. You can't really see the details very well on video. So I don't use elastics at all. I had gotten some of these which can pop open, but I don't like them anymore because when I'm trying to use them they tend to pop open. So instead I use hair sticks and I use flexies, a lot of flexies. So these are like barrettes, but they're a type of hair slide. They can fit more hair than a barrette and they don't have that little bit that can pinch your hair. So I use them like a barrette or like a hair stick. I have a gajillion of those. I also have things like this. This is called a swerve. It's a type of hair fork. So these things are much gentler in the hair. And if you'll see on my channel, I have at least 100 videos of different hairstyles you can do that use these tools and keep it protected and stuff. Especially the ends. The ends you want to protect as much as possible. That's the most delicate part, and of course that's the part that people say like, oh, this is the dead ends. There's no dead ends, but these can start to feel a little crunchy, velcro-y weird. So you want to really baby those as much as possible, tuck them in and keep them safe, keep them secret, keep them safe. I always use this brush now. This is the Tech wooden hairbrush. This was $50 and I was like, $50 on a hairbrush? But I've been using it for 3 years. My husband uses it exclusively. I use it exclusively. And it's very gentle on hair. It gets the tangles out super well. I no longer even really feel like I have to do the start at the bottom and work my way up. But that is what I'll do if it's like very tangled. And I have a tendency to always be on this side, so it's like hard to actually get it on this side, especially because I can't reach. So I'll like get what I can on here and then move it to this side, so I'm just more comfortable that way. Uh-oh, kids might be starting to argue. They've been doing really good this morning. Hopefully they'll sort it out. Yeah, it's a 3-year-old brush. In good shape. It's super easy to pull the hair off of it too. Like it just comes right off with no trouble. So it's practically brand new. At one point I had accidentally dyed the edges. There is a little bit of black dye on them. It's a little bit of black dye here. Tangle teaser with handle. Oh, I haven't seen them with a handle. Tangle teaser is what we've been using on my daughter's hair, and it has been working great. It never worked that well for me. I had trouble getting it through my hair, but maybe with a handle it would have worked. I will. I asked my husband to help me when it comes to measuring my hair. That's about it, I think. I'm pretty sure that's the only thing he's ever done, because I'm very protective. And of course, you know, husbands are like, oh, let me run my fingers through your hair. Like, no, don't touch. You're going to make it tangled. You're going to pull it out. Don't touch it. It's okay. He loves me. Don't worry. Oh, he has longer hair himself. He used to have it at like BSL. Now it's at shoulder length, so he can put it into a ponytail and I trim it for him. I am not trained in trimming hair, but I do okay with it. And so any urge I have to cut, I can get off on his hair. Let's see, did I miss any other comments? Yeah, I would be very curious about the Tangle teaser with the handle. But it works great on Priya. I have the little like pink one and she sits in my lap and I brush it before school every morning while she plays on my phone. So, it's so tangly. My favorite style, I would say my 2 favorites are the coronet braid and the lifted coil, which JJJ invented, and she is here. So, I like styles where it kind of shows off some detail and some beauty, but is also like completely up and out of the way. I always put my hair up to protect it and because it's fun to do beautiful styles, and that's part of my enjoyment of my hair, but mostly it's because when it's down, it's going to rub on things, it's going to catch in things, it's going to get weather beaten, so it's protected when it's up in a bun, and that means a lot to me. So my standard, like, I like the coronet braid that goes over the head a lot because of how it looks, and that it gives some, like, I'm on Zoom meetings all the time, my hair pulled back, I don't look that great. So having the braid over the top is kind of nice, but it takes a super long time to braid my hair now, so I get frustrated with that, and this one is super fast. So basically, JJJ and I both have the same aesthetic with hair. We did not like about the bee-butt bun that it sticks out behind your head. Prefer to have things that are kind of more flat against the head. So we really hated the look of this thing. And then she told me, you know what you can do is just flatten it against your head. And so I did. And this is my favorite go-to hairstyle because it's very fast to put up and it's different looking, and I can use my favorite hair fork here. I feel like, oh, the Margot. I like the Margot chignon a lot. Which I'm going to do a new video on soon. It's kind of a very delicate look, so it's not good for every day because it'll fall apart, but this is a nice solid one for every day. Do you think that when it's hot your hair grows faster? I do. I do. Here it is closer. I don't know any science behind it, but my experience has been that it feels like my hair grows significantly slower in the winter, and I do live in a cold climate, so it feels like the hair kind of hibernates, and then in the warm, humid air it starts to like, whoa, we can spread our wings again. So it certainly seems that way, but we have not had a very cold winter this year. It's only snowed once where I am in Maryland, and so I haven't noticed slowdown on my growth, but I also haven't measured in a while, and I need to get my husband to measure it. Last time I measured it was 50 inches, but I'm pretty sure I've gained at least a couple of inches since then. So let's see, what other comments do I have? Oh, thank you. I'm glad that it's interesting to talk to me. I have never shaved the nape, so you can see I have a lot of the little curly cues here, which I don't mind. I used to get bothered by, like, I would have, these hairs were always like, they're a little bit longer now, so they hide behind my ears. And in the 90s, I was like, oh, I gotta have these curls, you know, tendrils were very in the 90s, but I don't know, like right now I look like an Orthodox Jewish man, like, no. But then it looks kind of weird because I've got these little bits from the bottom of my ears. I don't know, I was obsessing over little things. Oh yeah, JJJ's hair is spectacular. She has had ankle length hair. I don't know, have you gone beyond ankle length at any point, JJJ? She's a legend in the long hair community. She's had long hair far longer than I do. Than I have. I wore bangs a lot when I was a kid, and I don't care for them. They would get really greasy, and I only washed my hair once a week, so they would get greasy and yucky, and I never styled them nicely. I always wanted those, like, big bangs that start back here and are, like, super thick, but every time I tried, I would end up with something that looked ridiculous, and most of my teenage years I have a cowlick right here, so the hair goes whoop, so I'd have, like, bangs, and whoop, it would look so bizarre. Ugh, I looked ridiculous as a teenager. She went 14 inches past the floor, then cut to floor, and is now at ankle. Amazing. And it's blonde and thick, and oh, talk about hair goals. Oh my goodness. So, yeah, bangs don't suit me very well, I think. but I liked the fake bangs, so I'm going to try that again. There were a few different fake bang styles that I discovered, and one of them was like just taking your ends and putting them over the top of your head. Which of course my ends are not even, so it wouldn't be as good. I could probably like pin them like that. There you go, bangs! Oh my gosh, I look like my cousin when I do that. I love styles that are easy to take down too. Yeah, I didn't plan to grow my hair. I mean, I planned to grow it to knee. And now that I'm at knee, I'm like, well, let's see how far we'll go. Who knows? I'll keep going until I don't like it anymore, I guess. How much does my hair grow in 1 year? I think it's about standard. I think usually it grows about 5 to 6 inches a year, which half an inch per month is considered pretty average. But I'll have to look at my measurements and my pictures from the last few years and see if that's actually accurate. It is. It's fun to test it, especially because there's so many people that are like, hair has a terminal length, and the terminal length is like waist. So you're just like, well, let's find out. What is the terminal length? Let's see. And like, it's not inconvenient at knee. That was one of my fears, that like, oh, once it's at knee, it's going to be so hard to do stuff. But I wear it up all the time. And people ask sometimes, how do I use the bathroom with long hair? I'm like, this has not been a problem. Either I wear it up, or I have a habit of throwing it in front of me before I sit down. Like, same thing when I'm sitting down on the couch. I don't want to sit on it. So it's just habit to move it out of the way. And so it hasn't felt inconvenient at all. I have a feeling when it's dragging on the floor, it may start to feel a tad bit inconvenient. But I think most people would consider the inconveniences to be more. But I don't know, my joy of long hair weighs out any inconvenience. Do you think that every person has their maximum hair length? Yeah, bangs not suited to me. I think that there is such a thing as terminal length, but it's just a lot longer than people think. And what I've seen is a lot of times people think that they've reached the end of what their hair can do at like here. And the reason for that is they're not taking good care of it. So it's like been bleached a million times, and it's like blow dried and heat styled constantly, like doing all of the opposite of good hair care advice. So once you stop doing that, it magically starts growing again. So yeah, even though this part is dead, that's even more reason why you have to treat it really gently, because it can't recover. So you gotta take care of it from the roots too, because this is where it's growing and where new healthy hair is coming in. But you've also got to treat your length with a lot of care and gentleness, because once it's damaged, there's nothing you can do really to fix it, I don't think. Now, caveat, I will say I'm not a hair scientist. I did not go to cosmetology school. This is all just based on my own personal experience of having long hair for a long time. I don't think I can go live every day. I do have a job. Not really a job. I'm a freelancer. I work from home, but very, very, very busy building my business, which I love. Weirdly, of all things, I build sales funnels for people, and it's super fun, and I love it. But I work really hard at that, and I'm at it for like 10 hours a day, every day. So it's very hard to find time for lives, but I will do it more often because this is really fun, and it's nice to get to communicate with you. If you put the title to the live, use the long hair word. Oh, that's smart. Yeah, should definitely do that. Always be funneling, as I like to say. Yeah, I floundered a lot in my life, in my career, and I'm really happy that I found something that I love to do and that I can do from my computer in my office at home. It's the perfect scenario, so it makes me very happy. And my husband now is a stay-at-home dad, which is amazing. Highly recommend a house spouse. It's really, really cool to not have to take care of things like making sure there's food to eat for dinner. I am the worst woman, terrible wife. I was raised to be like, you know, a very conservative definition of wife who's always serving others and taking care of the house, blah, blah, blah. I was terrible at it. I hated it. I love doing my work. I love working with computers. And my husband is really enjoying taking care of the kids in the house, so we are loving this. Oh my goodness, weekend, but it's so much fun to get to actually connect with you all and talk. I mean, I wish that it wasn't just by like looking at text comments. That seems weird to me, but is water important to hair growth? Oh, good point. Yes, absolutely. I do think so. Again, this is just my personal experience, but I actually I don't drink a wide variety of things. So this that I'm drinking here is a caffeine mix-in for water. It's a powder you mix it into your water. And it took a while to get used to the taste of it, but it does help me because I had never had caffeine before I started using this. I pretty much only drink water. I have a sensory processing disorder, and so it affects my ability to eat and drink because the textures and the feels of the foods are very intense. And I love water. And it makes me very happy. I love water. I love especially very, very cold water. So I just naturally drink a lot of water because I don't drink coffee. I don't drink sodas. I've never had a soda. Weirdly enough, except for like one sip of Sprite in the 90s that was an accident because I took my brother's thinking it was water. That put me off soda for the rest of my life. I don't drink alcohol. I don't like the flavors and the taste, and I don't like bubbly on my tongue, so yeah. Overface combing and braiding for me. Alright, let's try it. I don't know how this is gonna go. The hair is so trained to be away from the face, so it's kind of hard to comb it forward without getting a lot of tangles. Okay, hope you're still there, because now I can't see you. This feels appropriate now that there's a new Wednesday Addams show out. So, let's see. This feels very silly. I don't know. Super impractical. Yeah, I'm gonna wear it out like this. What do you think? Oh my goodness. Lots of fun stuff. Some people do incredible artwork with their hair. I stick with the classics that the long hair community has created for us. Appreciation to the long hair community. I hear some yelling going on again. Alright, I'm going to wrap things up and go check on the kids. Thank you guys for hanging out. I'll try to do this again soon.